Hey, amazing people. Welcome back. It's Monday. I'm Tracy Lene. We're still in this wonderful book, The Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson on work, money, and miracles. We are in chapter 12. I'm grateful that you're back. Hope you had a great weekend. And this chapter is called Embracing Abundance. And remember, this ain't audible. I'm going to stop and add my 2 cents. But I would love it if you would like this video, if you would share this video, and if you would subscribe to my channel. Let's get into this book. Chapter 12, Embracing Abundance. As a child of God, you are inwardly abundant. External abundance is simply a reflection of who and what you are. A spiritual economy is one in which abundance is a natural result of people actualizing their God-given gifts. True prosperity is the prospering of our spirits in service to love. You are an idea in the mind of God, and an idea does not leave its source. God is infinite, and God is love. Therefore, you share in that infinitude, and you share in that love. This is simply the truth of who you are. The universe of which you are a part of is an all-loving field of miraculous possibilities, not only in every instant, but also moving through time. In physics terms, you're not a particle, but a wave. You're not a static thing, but rather an ever-evolving emanation of the mind of God. An ever-evolving emanation of the mind of God. Spirit has great plans for you because God's mind is in an eternal wellspring of infinite love. This wellspring literally never runs out of ideas. I know sometimes that sounds foo-fooish, but you are God. You are love. You are just absolutely amazing. And because you are those things, anything that's coming at you that doesn't mirror that, it's an illusion. She has this in bold. We feel it would be arrogant to think of ourselves as God's gift to the world. Yet, in fact, that's exactly who each of us is. I believe that we are all gods. We're children of the Most High God. We're made up of that Godship. And we have these abilities, and everybody's ability is different. And that's why it's never a good idea to compare yourself to somebody else, or to say because you did something a certain way that means somebody else should do it that way, or that you know something this way, then they should know it that way. Everybody is different, period. And now that I realize that in life, everybody is different, period, I have far less drama because I always go back to the fact that everybody is different, period. Nobody is in my mind but God and me. Your awareness of these things helps write the universe on your behalf, lifting you above the effects of the fear-based thought system that dominates this planet. Your greatest source of power in this world is the knowledge that you're not of this world. None of us are truly at home in this dimension, and counterintuitive thought it is. We dwell most comfortably within the world when we know that. And that's too counterintuitive as a thought it is when you realize you're just simply passing through here. You're just kind of looking at the scenery. It's like a long vacation. When you're on vacation, you enjoy it. You go on excursions, or you just sit by the pool. You do all of the things that you don't do in your, quote, real life when you're on vacation. Well, this is a vacation. This whole journey is a vacation. And the beautiful thing about this vacation is when it ends, your soul goes back to the source. I think your body goes into the ground. And I believe in reincarnation. I just won't be Tracy. Tracy is just a personality made up of ideas and circumstances and situations and genetic makeup known to Tracy. But the soul that is inside of me is infinite. And when I let that soul lead, so many wonderful things happen. Where was I at? Okay, our true home lies beyond the veil of illusion, and we are here to shed the light of our true home into all darkened corners of the world. I was reading the other day, and Michael Singer said, if you want to be in the light, just let go of the darkness. We're always like, oh, I'm looking for the light. I'm searching for the light. Just let go of the darkness. Stop those dark thoughts right in their track. As soon as they come up, say, nope, I don't think that. Thank you for your contribution to my mind, but no, and let it go. It's all an illusion. Those darkened places are illusion. We are just literally light. With that understanding, we unleash the potential that lies within each of us to create the good, the true, and the beautiful. I also recognize that the way I think may not be the way you think, and that's great too. You know why? Because everybody is different. period. So you're not going to think the way I think. Your belief system is not going to be mine. Your belief system will be made up of the things that you've experienced that have solidified it, just as mine does mine. I don't tell anybody they're wrong anymore. Now I just go, well, you're right for you. And they get to be them, and people get to make the choices they need to make for their life, as do I. Such are the gifts of the Spirit that we carry within. We're programmed for an abundance because we are abundant. Think about your life right now, because we'll be like, oh, I don't have a lot of money. Maybe you do. But, oh, no, I have a lot of money. But do you have a lot of abundance? Do you have people who love you, people who support you? Are you able to walk? You're talking, your limbs work. You're able to get in a car and go somewhere. You look outside and see the trees. There is so much abundance everywhere, and you are a part of that abundance. Financial prosperity is one of the many ways we receive the gifts of the world, as we deliver to the world the gifts we bring from beyond it. Think what a different self-perception that is than an ego's derogatory estimation of who you are. I was online and I said something, and the girl was saying that, well, Debbie Allen, she knows more. And I said, why? It wasn't even about dance. Why does she know more than me? Because she's a celebrity? No, that's foolishness. But she thinks that because she worships celebrities. I don't. So I don't think somebody knows more than me because their bank account is higher or their status in life is higher. We're all equal. Nobody's better than anybody. To think what a different perception that is than the ego's derogatory estimation of who you are. To the fear-based ego mind, you're a clump of clay that has to compete in whatever way you can for the material resources by which to survive. To the loving heart, however, you're a non-material wave of energy on earth with a spiritual mission. I like to get up in the morning and I choose the wonderful things I'm going to have because I'm a spiritual being on a mission to experience humanness. And when I do that, when things start to come a little sideways, I go, remember, you're just here to observe it. You're not here to judge it. You're not here to claim it. You're here to just observe it. And I know you guys can observe that I changed my hair to this is copper and bright red mixed together because I wasn't feeling the orange. When my hair is in the frizzy state, I don't like the orange. I feel like, ugh. But when it's flat ironed, I like it with the balayage. But this way, I like it this way. I have it up, but I'm pretty sure I'll have it down tomorrow. Anywho, where was I at? You know how I do. I be all over the place. To the loving heart, however, you're a non-material wave of energy on earth with a spiritual mission. This mission acts like a magnet, making the forces of the world arrange themselves in a way that supports its achievement. No matter what you do, your abundance lies in dedicating your work to the purpose of healing the world. This is our common spiritual function, and it is only in performing our function that we can be happy. We're not depressed because the economy is depressed. The economy is depressed because we're depressed. I'm going to say that again. We're not depressed because the economy is depressed. The economy is depressed because we're depressed. And we're depressed because we've lost conscious contact with the realization of why we're here. We feel it would be arrogant to think of ourselves as God's gift to the world. Yet, in fact, that's exactly who each of us is. It's humble, not arrogant, to realize this truth. We're not taking personal credit for the divine power that lies within us. Remembering that the divine power is there in us, but not of us, is essential to the proper functioning of the mind and heart. Any thought action that separates us from the love separates us from the sense of meaning, our creativity, and our joy. You were created to live a life of abundance. I'm going to say that again. You were created to live a life of abundance with the support of the universe in carrying out your material endeavors. Nature itself displays economy, but not austerity. Yet many of us were taught, and by certain religions no less, to distrust abundance, leading us to subconsciously avoid or at the very least fail to develop the mental and emotional habits of an abundant life. An example is the church, the mosque, the synagogues teach you that it's harder for a camel to go through the eye. It's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than for the camel to go through an eye of a needle. And that is kind of making you think, well, I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff because everybody wants to go to heaven when you see the picture of heaven. But in reality, money is a tool to allow you to live your life and experience more. You can travel more. You can help other people out more. You can do so much more with it. But religion has taught us that money is evil, dirty, and bad. They even say money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. You just evil, and you got money, so you got access to do more things. But money in and of itself is just some paper. It's a tool. It's something that you can use to better your life, to better the condition of the world. And so it's necessary. In this dispensation of time we're in, money is necessary to create a material life that you can really enjoy. Okay. Where was I at? We need to do more than eradicate our thoughts of poverty. We need to allow ourselves to proactively embrace to the point of embodying the energies of abundance. To the universe, it is as easy to manifest 6 zeros as it is to manifest 2. As a child of God, all the abundance in the universe belongs to you because it is you. You belong here. No matter the circumstances of your birth, you're here now. You here. So you here. So enjoy being here. And your birthright is wealth. Not just material wealth, but spiritual wealth, physical wealth, emotional wealth. Those are your birthrights. You are here, and you have been designed and programmed to enjoy it all. But this world has some stuff that'll make you believe just the opposite, and we get caught up in it until we have a spiritual awakening. Usually spiritual awakenings come in the form of a disaster. Something just falls completely apart. And the beautiful thing about it is when it falls completely apart, you get to put yourself back together the way you want to put yourself back together. You don't have to let anybody tell you who you should be. You can redefine yourself. The idea that you must struggle in order to experience abundance, whether in the form of a love relationships, money, or anything else, interferes with the natural magnetism that otherwise brings abundance forth. Struggle, I hear religious people say, struggle is ordained. And I believe that the reason why struggle is ordained is because we're hard-headed and we don't do right until we get something up with our backside. You get a little hurt or a little fear or a little pain, and then you say, oh, I want to do this better. You get into a space where you spent all your money and now you can't pay your bills, and now you're like, oh my God, I got to struggle. And so you may take some time to get out of that. Hopefully you come out of that with an appreciation of budgeting and recognizing that you should be able to have everything you want, but maybe you can't have it all at the same time. How about that? You don't even need it all at the same time. There is a difference between having to work and having to struggle. Work is a creative effort, a righteous extension of positive energy that attracts abundance. Struggle is a perversion of creative energy based on a misunderstanding of one's basic relationship to the universe. Anxiety and struggle do not attract your good. You will find people who, no matter what, they just can't seem to keep any money. They did a study a while ago, and by they, I mean people who do studies, about people who win the lottery and how lots of them who won millions of dollars, not even a year later, they're right back to poor because they have a poverty consciousness. And so all the money in the world is not going to take that poverty consciousness away from you. You're going to have to work to do that. So they have all of this money given to them and then they just blow it. And lots of them end up with sicknesses and drug addictions and perversions, because now if you already have the thought in your mind that you like to have a lot of men or you like to have a lot of women, and now you got a lot of money, then you got access to more men or more women, you probably gonna go right on down that road. If you already drink too much and now you got enough money to drink all you want, you already eat too much and you have more money. So all of those things come not from money, but to your access to get more things because you have the money. But you can't blame the money, because there are people who have access to money who do amazing things with it. If you think that you have to struggle, you're forgetting your relationship to the universe. That part right there, when I realized, when the light bulb went off in my head that I am a God, I belong to the divine. Why am I struggling? Why am I allowing things and situations and people to do things to me that make me feel bad at a core level when I belong to the divine? When that light bulb went off and I realized I'm choosing to struggle, I'm choosing to not have enough money, I'm choosing to stay in places that I'm not welcomed. Once I realized, well, if I made the choice to do that, I can make another choice. I don't have to struggle. You'll see people. There's a teacher that I know, and he travels all the time on a teacher's salary, always going somewhere. And I said, how are you able to do that? Because, he's like in France. He's just all over the place. And he said, well, I just decided I love to do it. So he looks for deals on tickets. He finds excursions that are damn near free because it's what he loves to do. And he's decided that teaching is his passion. He even has people who give him money to travel because he's an educator. He has decided that his passion, which is teaching, may not make him a billionaire in the bank, but he lives a billionaire lifestyle. What's that saying? I have to struggle because otherwise I'm not taken care of. Lots of people feel like they're not doing good in life unless they can, woe is me. And yeah, I had to walk up the hill backwards in the snow with no shoes on to get to the schoolhouse. That means that you did so much. No, what about if you had somebody drop you off at the schoolhouse and there was no snow? You're still just as important and you're still just as needed as the person who walked up the hill backwards with no shoes on to the school. But people like to have a lot more going on, their struggle story. I remember one time when I was in the theater, I was at Howard, and I met this guy. His name was Adolphus. I doubt if you ever see this. So his name was Adolphus, and we went on a date, and his car literally didn't have like the floorboard thing in it. You had to like hold your feet out to the side. And I said, what in the Flintstone type of car is this? And he was like, yeah, because I'm going to be a big time musician. So I'm like, so you got to have a car with no bottom? He said, yeah, and I live in the car. And I'm like, why? He said, you'll never make it as an actress until you're homeless. I'm like, well, I guess I won't make it because I'm not going to be homeless. He said, that's how you get to the nitty gritty. No, you don't need to do that to get to the nitty gritty. Maybe he needed to do that. But you just heard me say his name is Adolphus and he's not going to see it. Well, he didn't make it as a musician because I ain't never hear about him ever again. So his mentality that he had to have a car like the Flintstones with no floorboard in it and that he had to be homeless in order to make it as a musician was a very poverty conscious mindset. And I don't believe that works because I ain't heard from him. What's that? The universe is programmed to support your happiness. And one of the ways it does this is by arranging events so that you won't have to worry about money. Why? Because you have more important things to do. Another story real fast. I was at Union Temple Baptist Church and there was a woman. She had worked for 30 years for the government. She was like a level 5,000. Their department got dismantled, but she had a nice old savings. There was a building around the street from the church. She could bake really well. She used to bake all the time in church, so she had a nice little saving. She bought that building and I went to D.C., I think it was a month ago, and that building is still there. Her bakery is still there. And this was in circa 93 before I moved to New York. So like 1993 when she opened it, and that bakery was still there. I didn't stop there because we were going somewhere, but it was open and I could peek in and I could see how beautiful it was. But it was because she recognized that she didn't have to struggle. When that job dismantled, she had plenty of money to just roll right on into the next thing. Her gift, something she was really good at. So that to me is why it's also very popular, because she also has gluten-free options. And I saw on the window it was some vegan stuff in there too. Okay, well, that is the correct motivation for making money. So you simply don't have to think about it except as a tool for the betterment of all things. It's difficult to open yourself to such thinking if you're not open to the idea of your own internal magnificence. You are magnificent. When I look at people, I immediately say, you're magnificent, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you are so loved, you are so loving, you're kind. I'm saying those things in my mind because I'm pushing that vibration out to them so that if they are wanting to bark at me, it's hard to bark at somebody that's purring at you. It really is. And if you can manage to bark with somebody that's purring at you, they just need to move on about their business because you got more issues than they need to deal with. It's difficult to open yourself to such thinking if you're not open to the idea of your own internal magnificence. Recognition of your internal magnificence is not ego. It is the acknowledgement of the spirit within you, which makes you no more or less valuable than anyone else. All of us are infinitely valuable to God. I was talking to someone on TikTok. We were back and forth in like the comments. And then we were talking about relationships and value. And she said that she was in a relationship and it didn't, he did her wrong or whatever. She said, he's never going to find anybody better than me. And I said, well, you don't know that. And she said, yes, I do. And I said, maybe he'll repent. Maybe he'll get himself together and he'll find somebody that's a better fit for him. And I said, because I don't think there's a such thing as a person that's better than you. She said, well, no, I don't think people are better than you. I think nobody's better than anybody. And I'm thinking, you just said that he won't find nobody better than you. But that was her ego. Her ego would not allow her to believe that just because she and he didn't work out, that he couldn't go and find somebody that's a better match for him, and that he could be amazing to that person. I believe that can happen. Just because it didn't work out with you and one person, you don't have to doom them for somebody else. If you truly love them, you will want them to find somebody that brings out the best in them, because it wasn't you, and that's okay. Many of us were taught as children that we shouldn't express ourselves too much. I was blessed. My mama let me express myself probably what people would say, too much. We should pipe down in some way. Such children often become adults who are in the habit of cowering, as though we're afraid of taking up too much space. Our mind then comes into conflict with our soul's knowing, because each of us is the center of the universe. We are here to express ourselves, and on some level, we know this. There is no need to feel you shouldn't take up too much room in a universe that is, in fact, all yours. You don't take up too much room. Stop shrinking yourself so that other people can feel big. Fill up all of the space you can, and you'll realize how much more space there is. You can fill it up. They can fill it up. Everybody can fill it up. And then we got this whole big old wonderful world of filled up people and spaces. I'm going to go ahead and stop because it's 20 minutes. And if you listen this long, not only do I appreciate you, I wish you so much love, joy, and peace. And tomorrow we will come back. We're still in this book. We're going to get out this book this week, though, because it's time to move on to the next book. So we're going to finish this book by the end of the week, by the grace of God, because I also have to take it back to the library. Remember, this is the one book I got from the library. Not sure what book will be next. I will let the universe lead me to that. But thank you so very much for your time and your talent. I truly appreciate your comments. I would like it if you would share this video, if you would subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about it. This way you can get some reading in, get some books in without having to actually do the work yourself. Have a good one. Bye.